the honey badgers decided to make a fighting retreat to their den. The honey badger's tough hide and surprising strength and ferocity make it a tricky customer for the lions that struggle to deliver the killer bite. In this video, we are witness to an incredibly rare sighting of Ethiopian wolves chasing away a pair of honey badgers after the badgers disturbed the wolves' den site. One of the honey badgers is grabbed and almost ripped apart, but his friend helps him, and the two badgers manage to eventually fend off the wolves and escape. These two coyotes are hounding this badger in the snow, but the badger is resilient and counters the coyotes. When the badger digs a den in the snow, the coyotes are perplexed and seem to wonder where he could have gone. Because they prefer to spend most of their time underground, catching a glimpse of them is rare. As a result, seeing one with coyotes in such a small area is even more special. It's a real treat to see footage like this with personality, as it reminds us of the bonds that some of these wild animals have with one another, as well as how playful they can be at times. When a pair of honey badgers get their eyes on some newborn puppies, a painted wolf mom and her daughter need to collaborate to save them from danger. The wild dogs manage to grab the pups and put them back safely into their den. When three wild dogs approach a lone honey badger, the honey badger does not flee while running for safety. Instead, he confronts the invaders. He's outmanned and outsized, but the wild dogs recognize him as a formidable opponent. In this video, 2 honey badgers and 4 wild dogs engage in a game of cat and mouse. I'm unsure of how honey badgers will react to a pack of wild dogs because everyone knows they're insane. The badgers are serious even though the dogs are having fun. As the honey badgers charge, the dogs run away. The dogs are aware that the badgers can bite hard, yet while 2 bother the badgers, 2 of them are rolling in the grass. The dogs exchange bewildered looks as the badgers eventually leave. It's confusing how wild dogs can quickly dismember a large antelope but struggle to handle a honey badger that weighs 30 pounds. 2 honey badgers take on 2 hyenas during this nighttime conflict, which is a little more on the fair side. It looks like all these animals are tired, and not much is happening between the perpetrators except for a lot of growling and taunting. Honey badgers are not to be trifled with. Although these hyenas would attack any other animal, including lions, they approach this honey badger with caution. They approach it as if it were a new kid on the block and try to bully it, but the badger isn't your typical youngster. It's a little insane, if not crazy. The hyenas chase it down, unsure if it's a wise idea. I've never seen hyenas be so wary about a possible hunt. In this video, we witness a rare encounter between the notorious honey badger and 2 white-tailed mongooses. The 2 mongooses were mating when this inquisitive honey badger decided to investigate and chase them around, but nothing serious unraveled. Badger behavior varies by family, but they all live underground in burrows called setts. Badgers are ferocious creatures that will go to any length to protect themselves and their young. They can fight off much larger animals, such as dogs, as you can see in this video. These dachshunds are aggressing on this badger, but the badger is well protected with his back sitting between 2 logs. There isn't much the dogs can do besides bark. A Rhodesian Ridgeback takes on an American badger. The Rhodesian Ridgeback was bred to hunt lions in Africa and is well known for its bravery and strength. They could not kill lions, however, but they were used to track them and keep them at bay until the hunter arrived and killed the lion with his gun. However, when taking on a much smaller badger, the Rhodesian Ridgeback gets more than it bargained for. Badgers are unrivaled for their bravery, courage, and fearlessness against much bigger, stronger animals. This white dog threatens a badger that has encroached on his property. The dog is barking but not attacking the badger. The badger is cornered but stands its ground. When the dog tries to bite it, the badger goes on the offensive and the dog backs down. The dog's handler approaches with a net, trying to capture the badger so he can get him out of there. The fight continues and includes a few close combat scuffles, but nothing more. This dog seems to have read the playbook on badgers before getting into a fight with one. The dog grabs the badger and crushes it, and for the first time, the badger is in trouble, and most probably dead. This badger is busy eating some dog food when a fox tries to steal some. The badger attacks the fox and nearly rips it to shreds, but the fox manages to run, presumably with a few scrapes and bruises. A fox bothers this badger while he eats dog food, but the badger is too hungry to care. The fox is adamant and will not stop smelling and biting the badger's behind. The badger keeps his cool and continues to eat. These two must know each other because badgers are vicious, and if this badger wasn't familiar with this fox, he would have already jumped him, unless the food is that good and he doesn't feel anything. In this video, we see a dispute between a fox and a badger, and it looks like the fox is defending her den, perhaps because she has cubs below ground, and that's what the hungry badger wants. In our thumbnail, we can see a honey badger chasing a jackal. Even though they're crafty, jackals are not much bigger than honey badgers, and on a scale of crazy, I'm willing to bet that honey badgers are crazier than the jackals, without a doubt. On a macadamia farm near White River, Mpumalanga, South Africa, an infrared flash camera trap was used to acquire this video. The cameraman captured it by tying down a dead duiker he discovered in a field. It was half-eaten when he discovered it, and it made an ideal camera trap bait. On the second day of filming, a side-striped jackal decided to compete for the carcass with a couple of honey badgers. As tough as honey badgers are, it seems like the jackal took the prize home this time. A struggle takes place between a honey badger and a monitor lizard. Is the honey badger capable of bringing it down? Make no mistake, the badger, not the lizard, is the hunter here. And as you can see, the badger takes little time to dispatch the lizard. My friends, it's time for some eggs and lizard sausages on the grill for breakfast. We have all seen how crazy honey badgers can be. But this lesser Grison takes hunting to the next level. He has dragged a teg into a drain pipe while he's already in the process of tearing the lizard open when it's still alive. You can see the tegu trying to defend itself as it attempts to bite the predator, but it's not enough to save his life. The Grison relentlessly tears through the teg's underbelly and continues to eat it alive. When 3 young leopards decide to gang up on a honey badger, they think it's going to be a cakewalk killing the animal, but it's the farthest thing from the truth. The honey badger fights and bites the 3 timid felines and eventually walks away from there with just a few scratches. This video depicts a honey badger's bravery in rescuing her young from a leopard. She charges at breakneck speed and leaps over the leopard, nearly snapping her young guy's neck. As he understands how insane the badger is, this mother's bravery saves her son and scares the large cat away. The real badass of the animal realm is the honey badger. He demonstrates how to dig up and consume a scorpion in this video. The honey badger is rarely troubled by other animals, and even though scorpions are venomous, they actually help badgers build immunity against venomous creatures. Honey badgers don't see very well, but they have a powerful sense of smell, many times more powerful than our own. This honey badger has just gotten a whiff of something tasty. This tiny rodent is the Namakwa rock rat, and he's a master at hide and seek. When you're on everybody's menu, you need a clever plan, one that'll keep predators at bay. The sweet thorn tree is common throughout Namibia. Its sharp spikes provide a fortress of impenetrable barrier of 2-inch thorns. If the honey badger wants some lunch, he will have to figure out how to break in. The rat's body is encased in a thick, rubbery hide, which gets him past the first few branches, but he's enduring painful jabs. This is the classic honey badger hunting technique. Pin the prey with its claws and then go for the fight, but he's getting hung up on thorns. The rock rat's plan is working. He's just staying clear, but the honey badger pulls through and he toughs out the thorns. The rat stares death in the face, but still has enough grit himself to sink his teeth into the badger's tongue. After surviving several jackal attacks and resisting, a turtle reaches the end of the road when a honey badger spots the reptile and eats right through it. There aren't too many animals that honey badgers will not attack. As it digs deeper and deeper inside the tortoise's shell, the honey badger in this video is looking for the reptile's tender meat and eventually finds it. If it is edible, nothing will stop a honey badger from eating it. A perfect example is that they can't get enough of beehives because they are nuts for honey. Hence, they can withstand a lot of stings, ransacking a hive. Bees can be dangerous. When honey badgers were first described in South Africa, they were frequently found in beehives, apparently feeding on honey, hence why they are called honey badgers. But it turns out that the honey badger was more interested in bee brood. the nutritious bee larvae found in honeycomb. This honey badger goes high up in a tree in search of a snake it sees. The snake slithers for its life, falling down the tree as the honey badger climbs the tree. The honey badger then leaps back down and pursues the snake. The battle starts, but the honey badger gives the snake no room and overwhelms it in a matter of seconds, consuming it on the spot. If you thought honey badgers would be afraid of the African rock python, think again. Watch this honey badger go on the offensive when he encounters one and isn't intimidated a bit. This honey badger is eating a python alive. Believe it or not, a crocodile is the prey that the honey badger is seeking in this video. Despite the crocodile's small size, it is nonetheless impressive that the badger can defeat such a strong foe. A few bite scars are left on the crocodile after the honey badger eventually loses interest and wanders away, leaving it to ponder what was the crazy animal that just attacked it. After killing a baby crocodile, a honey badger can be seen walking away with his prize in its mouth, dead and ready to grill. Sometimes, badgers don't get along with their own species. These two male badgers got into a serious scuffle, and when all was said and done, the two protagonists walked away with serious injuries. These two male badgers are fighting it out, probably trying to settle a territorial matter, or perhaps fighting over a female. Anything is possible, but these are two of the most probable reasons the badgers would engage. The European badgers in this video are play fighting, as they wrestle and tumble in the middle of the night. They must be siblings just having a good time. The dominant male in this video is challenged by another badger, although, to be fair, he starts the mess. The second badger could well be one of the now grown cubs from earlier in the year. In 7 years of recording badgers, the man filming had never seen a fight so intense, even though neither of the badgers were injured seriously, and the challenger was eventually chased away by the other badger. We have seen badgers dig for scorpions in previous videos. Well, in this video, this badger is digging for something fluffier, bunny rabbits, and he's loving it. He's not happy with just one because he even runs after the rabbits trying to escape. Meanwhile, chasing one of the rabbits gives way for the other rabbits to run to the hills. The notorious honey badger has the confidence of a lion, the personality the size of a giant pachyderm, and the cuteness of a bunny rabbit. The honey badger is probably one of the most loved, misunderstood, and revered little creatures in the entire world. It's built quite a name for itself, as honey badgers are quite trendy now. In this video, the honey badger digs for a fluffy rabbit and finds one. When this mule deer spots a badger in the open field, it approaches it to get a closer look, but when it realizes that the badger just got out of the nut house, it runs like the wind as far away as possible from the animal. Watch this badger hunt and catch a prairie dog for lunch. Nature can sometimes be harsh, but every animal has their own way of surviving. Sometimes the hunt isn't successful, but these animals must continue to hunt if they want to survive. An overweight badger is seen chasing a prairie dog, and if the prairie dog keeps running this way, the badger is probably going to have a heart attack. Just in time. The badger makes the kill before getting a stroke.